Holy shit, we're on
You're here with the Levels of Wrestling. This is Lowdown Episode 2, Season 2. Chris fucked up the opening already. Here we go. How we doing, guys?
Oh, we couldn't start off this episode any better.
No, we couldn't, because that intro was better than the Rumble.
That intro was booked as well as the Rumble was.
2 Rumble jumps in less than a minute. Well done, guys.
It was done on purpose.
So if you can't tell, guys.
At least we haven't had a mention of Sami Zayn and CM Punk.
Yeah, there we go.
Right. Wow. If you guys can't tell, this week's obvious topic of choice will be the Royal Rumble and the episode of not Raw, but the interviews that should have been on Raw but weren't on Raw because Raw was snowed in. So hey, it's been an interesting week in wrestling. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask us about this said interesting week in wrestling on any show, preferably the ones that people are going to know, none of your indie crap. If you guys want to ask us a question, send it into @LevelsOfWrestling or @LevelerLOW on Twitter.
I already have a question. How was it an interesting week in wrestling?
Because there's so much shit happened, Chris.
It was an eventful week.
Yeah, I agree with the shit, but I'm not sure about anything else.
It was eventful.
I don't know. Twitter was eventful.
Oh, it was fun. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Indeed.
We gotta stick with the format.
I'm gonna ask for the straight question, guys. One at a time. Did you enjoy the pay-per-view? The pay-per-view, not the Rumble.
No.
The pay-per-view as a whole wasn't that bad because they had a 5-star title match. And
Skeletor, how did you find the entire pay-per-view?
I generally liked it until the Rumble match. I thought the Triple Threat was amazing, and I generally thought the other matches were okay. They were fine. So it was a slightly above average pay-per-view all in all, and then the Rumble happened.
It was a 3 out of 10 for me.
Well, what about that Triple Threat, dude?
Yeah, that's where the 3 came from.
I was going to say everything else was the 0. That Triple Threat was the 3.
Yeah, I thought the undercard was just complete garbage. Nothing furthered anything. It was terrible.
I have to admit, I was sat with my 3DS playing games, drinking stuff, mostly on Twitter, not really paying much attention.
Brass Ring Club for life, man.
Do you realize like how much shit they're gonna get in for that? Because those were not licensed WWE shirts.
Hey, Paul, do me a favor. Say that in the voice of Dusty Rhodes.
Oh man, jeez.
Come on, we're hitting it early.
Hold on, what did I say again?
The official T-shirts are gonna get in chicks. They're not official T-shirts.
Now do you realize, baby, that those were not officially licensed WWE T-shirts, if you will?
There we go. And now our friends will be happy. Unlike everyone else who was sad after that Royal Rumble. Honest to God, I'm so glad I played the drinking game that we put the rules up for, because I couldn't have made it through the Rumble match without it. I think we finished 2 bottles of vodka, a bottle of Jaeger, and at least a crate of beer each. It would have been.
I have to admit there were some comments on Twitter that I'm not really sure I can say those on the air.
Wow, I'm kind of saddened that you can't say it on the air. We've stopped it being PG.
No, this is just really bad.
Wait, have we stopped being PG?
Oh yeah, If you couldn't tell by the fuck, the shit, and oh god, Chris, you fucked up the intro 2 minutes in. Then...
I'm a little spaced out right now.
It was. Unfortunately, there were comments involving cancer, Canada Crusher, and the Royal Rumble match.
Wow.
You can probably put the pieces.
Damn, son. Damn.
You can probably
that's horrifying.
You can probably put the pieces together just from that, but it was a.
Ooh.
Yeah. I won't be repeating too many of those.
Well, I mean, Kane broke the elimination record, so best Rumble of all time.
Yeah, I mean that was the highlight of the Rumble.
We have legitimately just been sat here for the past 10 minutes discussing. Oh, Aaron's gonna like it because Kane did.
Yep, Aaron's gonna love the Rumble because well, Kane and Big Show look strong.
They did.
Do you know who always looks strong? Always looks strong? Big Show, because he's so big. They don't need to make him look strong. He looks naturally strong. Get rid of him.
Me and the two other people I was watching Raw with popped for when Kane's eliminated the 39th person. And this got the elimination record.
You and who?
The two people I was watching with.
He means
Aaron,
stuffed animals.
They're not real.
Damn.
You need to take your pills.
They're stuffed animals.
Oh, fuck. I'm not doing well.
That's
Wow.
leaving.
So, on the idea, obviously, we've just said about animals. How did we feel about Lesnar being kind of put out of commission? You know, this beast all of a sudden dropped with an elbow and a broken rib.
Don't give a fuck. He was meant to. He basically got AA'd, just got up, got AA'd. Considering everybody that gets AA'd almost immediately gets pinned afterwards, that was something in itself.
Yeah, I mean, dude kicked out of 5 AAs or some shit by the end. He kicked out of 2 curb stomps.
Well, when it comes to main event matches, the AA is not a finisher. It's a transition move at this point. So when it comes to main event, title matches, that type of thing, big matches, it's a transition move. It's not even a finisher.
What do you guys think about Seth doing the real main event move and getting the secondary finisher?
Oh, yeah,
At least I think so.
Was that a secondary finisher?
I think so. They've talked about it on the interviews. Like, Cena had no chance of kicking out of that, and the only reason Seth didn't win was because Brock showed up. That's how they talked about it specifically.
I am 100% legitimately. I think he could put Adrian Noel to shame. I mean, bloody hell, that was a flip and a half.
Yeah, I think WWE likes to have their main event talents have 2 finishing moves, and I think we just saw it for the first time.
But one of them is normally the grapple, for example, Daniel Bryan's yes-lock, the STF.
Yeah, it's usually submission. Like Batista used to do that stupid-ass Batista bite thing. That was the worst submission move.
One of them you hit left one, and then the other one you hit left one and then over at the same time for the second finisher.
Yeah, no, Punk had the Anaconda voice.
Thanks, Paul. Now we all know how to play SmackDown versus Raw 2000.
You're welcome.
You kind of effed up the control scheme.
Whatever. I'm half paying attention.
But yeah, it was cool to see that move. I don't even know what the hell it's called. That was a move.
Phoenix Splash.
Yeah, he called it the Phoenix Splash the night after on the interviews.
On Interview Raw.
Oh, GG, I hope he uses that from now on, but I do not want to see
Raw is interviews.
Well, you know what, though? That Raw was a blessing in disguise.
Roman looked really good.
Damn right he did. And if you saw just the reaction on Twitter, you saw a whole lot of people calm down and realize, okay, you know what? This is the guy that we're going to need to see for the next 60 days. If he continues this, it's going to be A-okay, folks. The sky is not falling.
Yeah, he showed that he can hold a conversation for several minutes and not collapse in on himself.
Who was this?
So,
well, from what I'm led to understand, what sources have told this reporter is that
what
Roman,
you heard on the street
is that Roman is very fond of rejecting scripts, rejecting promos.
He does.
So, yeah, so that bullshit that they were giving him there for a month and a half or so, that was punishment.
That wouldn't surprise me. He seems like the kind of guy that would seem arrogant enough to turn down a Vince McMahon script.
Hey, you know what, though? That's what wrestling needs more of. They need more guys that are going to go, no, you know what, fuck you. I'm going to say what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to say this, but you know what? He ends up saying it anyway, so...
Well, that was what Punk used to do, because there was, in the documentary, everyone was saying his writers hated him. And I can imagine that Reigns was in the same situation, and because Punk was already popular at that point, he would get away with it. Whereas Reigns is still coming up. It's
what the hell is that?
But since Reigns is still coming up, I imagine that he doesn't get as much leeway with Vince.
For those of you who don't know, that was our CM Punk gong. Every
Ooh.
time. Sorry.
You're 10 minutes off from that anyway. I mentioned him in like the first minute and you just didn't. I mentioned him in the first minute and you screwed up.
Oh.
Shut up,
that,
Chris.
bitch.
Shut up. Who let you back in the house, Chris?
Who let you out of your damn cage?
But seriously, let's start off from the top of the card. The first match of the night. What did you think to it on the pay-per-view?
What was the first match?
I believe it was the tag match with the Usos and Miz and Mizdow.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, the first match on the actual pay-per-view card after the Brass Ring Club thing was Ascension versus New Age Outlaws.
Oh, so it was, yeah. Sorry.
What's the brass
Yeah. Are you still drunk there, Craig?
Sorry, yeah, I must be. That must be the problem.
A little bit.
What was the brass ring thing?
New Day versus that jobber tag team of Cesaro.
Adam Rose, Cesaro, Tyson Kidd all wore shirts that said Brass Ring Club and had a bunny skull, the Swiss flag, and a rose on it.
It was a knockoff of Bullet Club.
Yeah,
it was, and it was bad, and they're going to get in so much shit for it. Because the internet thought it was cool.
Oh,
yeah, the internet thought it was cool.
All those fucking people thought, oh my god, that's the coolest thing. No, it wasn't. It was fucking stupid.
I thought it was
really
funny.
was. No, it was cheap is what it was. That's them going, oh wow, you know what, Bullet Club, that's a pretty cool fucking shirt. You know, we're gonna knock it off and put a cat on it. Yuck, you stink.
Well, rabbit
Who
on.
do you think put the cat on it though? Who do you think put the cat on it?
Well, was there a cat on it?
It wouldn't
I thought it was
surprise
a
me.
rabbit skull.
Whatever it was fucking stupid.
Oh,
No, it was a cat skull. You're right.
Yeah, don't argue with this guy. Don't argue with
I'm
this
wrong.
guy. That's goddamn right you are.
Because it had one piece from each guy. It had the Swiss flag, a rose, and then the cat skull. So,
yeah, and guess what? It was 100% shit too. So.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah,
That's not the point.
You know what? I think that at this point, Cesaro is just trying to lose his job.
I will
up and quit. That's it. Up and quit. Justin Gabriel did it.
I was gonna say Justin Gabriel was one of these people that everyone's like, oh, why would you quit? And I'm like, well, I would. Jesus.
Yeah. What are they gonna do?
Honestly, Justin Gabriel is the only guy with a position low enough in the company that I feel like if I was them, I would have quit. In most cases, I've been like, I would take my $400,000 a year paycheck to work a mid-card thing. But Justin Gabriel got like 2 matches a month on freaking main event and NXT to job out to young guys.
I was going to say, my argument with Justin Gabriel was that he was talented, but he never got used.
We never knew if he was talented. We never knew.
Well, he's like I said, he's the only guy I would have actually quit if I was in his position because that was bad.
If I'm Titus, I'm thinking about it.
If anyone's as smart as Alberto Del Rio, came out on an interview recently and said he makes $500 less than he would in WWE per month. That's not a big loss, guys. If you want a job, go do the indies.
Yeah, the indies are flourishing. Look at AJ Styles. He leaves TNA. He just works the indies, and he's probably the best worker in the world right now.
Here's the thing, though. Those indie companies will only break out that level of money if you actually carry a real name with you, and most of their own guys who don't really have a name aren't paid that well.
Yeah, so guess what? We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about guys like Cesaro, who's going to go
No,
out
but
and
I mean like
money.
Titus or somebody. Like, I was saying carrying a real name with him. I doubt he's going to get paid any real amount of money to go down to freaking wherever the fuck. I don't know.
But you know what, though? He's smart enough where I'm sure that he's stashed away enough money that his happiness is worth a lot more than what WWE is paying.
Go work with Drew Galloway or whatever the fuck.
I was going to say, better example, a guy who stashed away money. You've got Jinder Mahal, you've got not Slater, you've got McIntyre, you've got Punk, you've got... Who else got laid off last year? Because some of those guys would have made money.
JTG.
Well, freaking Jinder ain't doing anything to my knowledge. And if he is,
JTG, where's he?
Jinder sucks ass.
JTG was still in talks with Shad of doing a Crime Time farewell tour.
Good for them. I was like...
That's a sad farewell tour, because who the fuck remembers Crime Time?
Fucking everyone!
Yeah, they were great.
I don't care about Crime Time. I didn't care about Crime Time when they were there.
Yeah, we got Eye on Hand, we got Money, money. Finish it, Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
What has happened
Yo,
to this program?
it's crime time.
I have to admit, if Jinder Mahal hasn't appeared since he got laid off, well, that's because he probably doesn't need to, because he's probably put the money away.
Jinder's like terrible. Like even when I gave him goes at stuff, he was terrible. So I don't know what Jinder's doing.
Why is Jack Swagger still employed?
Exactly.
Jack Swagger has worked decent matches in his career.
No, he hasn't. He's worked a decent match.
So while they're still
It was
employed,
against Rusev.
so while they're still employed, then what did you think of the Cesaro Kid match?
I think Cesaro was the only person in that match that's over.
Him and Big E really tore it down. And as much as this pains me, this is how objectionable I can be. Kid and Cesaro work good together. There. I actually said something nice about Tyson fucking Kid.
Yeah, I think he is a good tag team partner to Cesaro, and they had a pretty good pre-show. Like, it's the best pre-show in a while, because usually pre-shows are garbage.
He still can't work a match to save his ass, but, in limited bursts like that with Cesaro, he looked okay.
Well, he has some cool offense, and if you throw, like, little bits of it in with Cesaro, it works.
But
right,
because his offense doesn't mean anything when he's working singles.
It pains me as a fan of the New Day to say that they officially sucked ass on that show. I mean, I'm not a fan of the New Day. I'm a fan of them as a wrestling group, but that gimmick is killing them more than Vince had already tried.
I wish they kept up with their, whatever they were doing for, 2 weeks before they vanished off the face of the earth for 2 months.
Yeah, the mildly heel racist thing. Yeah, that worked.
Yeah.
And then Del Rio went and followed that up.
I already know what the answer is. The answer to save them is Mark Henry.
Oh, dear God, please.
Isn't that great? You bring him back as Hall of Pain Mark Henry? That works.
What, and have him join them or tear them apart?
No, join them. Lead them.
Oh, so Henry becomes the leader of the new Nation of Domination?
No, you don't make it like that. You just make it a bunch of guys. You don't make it a racial thing or whatever. I mean, you can if you want, but they don't have the balls to right now. I mean, you just have them be, you know what? We're not doing this gimmick. We're sick of this. We're sick of being these smiling, happy guys and all that shit. And you have Mark Henry, lead them, show them the ways of the Hall of Pain, that type of thing.
Tell them that somebody's going to get their ass whipped and somebody's going to get their wig split.
Hey, that's a good theme song right there.
Well,
it's a really good.
It's pretty damn good.
Wow. I am looking at guys' salaries, and you wouldn't believe how terrible some of these guys get paid in WWE. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's really bad. Seth Rollins, $55,000. Yeah, that's his guaranteed money.
Yeah, but he'll get pay-per-view bonuses and stuff on top of
The pay-per-view bonuses are gone.
No, because
did we say
that number sounds like bullshit to me. Because Tyler Rex said he was clearing $150,000 a year when he was just wrestling on Superstars once a month.
Then that was his contract. No, then he's still running off of his developmental contract, is what that means.
Oh, damn! It's been a long time. It's been years.
Luke Harper, $70,000. These guys are not making. These guys are not making money for what they're doing. It is not worth it.
Do you know what else wasn't worth it?
That means when they re-sign, they're going to be making a lot of money. I don't know.
Right, do you know what else wasn't worth it? The Ascension New Age Outlaws match. That did nothing for no one. Nothing for no one. Don't say anything, Skeletor. It did nothing for no one. But it was a really good match, and it was nostalgic.
It was not a good match.
It should have been a squash.
All the comment I was going to make was, I like seeing Billy Gunn arm drag people. That's about it.
But he shouldn't have been. I mean, these are guys in their 50s. The Ascension, they're almost in their 50s, but they should have just come in there and it should have been a 30-second match. It shouldn't have been as even or as close as it was. Those guys should have destroyed them.
I don't know, like freaking back when Orton was doing Legend Killer shit, he was having halfway cool matches against Kamala and shit. So I don't know.
Kamala's a
We'll
great
see how it
worker.
works. Yeah, but there's no reason for that to be an semi-equal
Wow,
match.
I
That
just
you
said that
agreed
was...
is
And he's not
really
even
sad.
He's not even a great worker. He was okay. What the fuck are you talking about?
You just agreed with him. He was bullshitting you.
Yeah, I know.
How-
Kamala's not even a good worker.
How
I'm just sick in my head.
Guys, shut up for a
Oh,
second.
yeah.
Paul,
You're right.
how much did you say Seth Rollins' contract was for?
What was it, 55?
It's 75.
Is it 75?
$75,000.
Yeah, those for your estimated 2014 earnings.
Oh yeah, 2014 was 51,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, you know what? That's no money.
Yeah,
They're
but
doing what they do.
this
that's
show,
zero
Money than I got.
this show it's gone up to 75,000. He signed to a three-year contract. Yeah, he signed a 3-year contract
Still,
in 2013. That'll go up.
There's very few guys that are making, the money that they deserve there.
But that contract will at least triple like next year when he re-signs, because when you look at how well he's doing now.
I mean, dude, it was like 2006 or 7, but like guys like Kane and Rob Van Dam in like 06 or 07 were making $400,000.
Yeah.
Like, and
Cena
that's
made millions.
like 6-7 now. And
Cena-
Cena makes freaking like $10 million a year. Something absurd like
May
that.
I step in here for a small moment? I feel very shocked by a Twitter comment we've just received. John Tibbs, I usually agree with you, but no. I watched the Ascension matches. I've never seen them before. They stood out a lot.
No.
I hope you mean in a bad way.
Yeah, that's what he means.
They
I'm
botched,
standing up for you, John. I like you.
they botched enough. They botched their own finisher. What does that tell you?
They're born and bred to rip and shred. Come on.
Welcome to the wasteland.
I will say I enjoy Welcome to the Wasteland as like a goofy B-movie catchphrase. I enjoy that.
I enjoy that. I wouldn't mind that on the show.
Levels impression that reminds me more of Ryback than of the Ascension.
I thought it was pretty good.
See, I know someone who wants to keep his
It was
job.
like Wade Barrett doing it. It was pretty good. I like that.
Like
Wade Barrett
I don't
doing
know.
the Ascension, I can deal with that.
Yeah,
Well,
I love me some Mad Max shit, so it works.
Okay, so, I mean, obviously Mad Max, old reference. Are the New Age Outlaws now too old to carry a match?
Yeah, they could never carry a match. They're terrible workers.
Well, as JBL said, they haven't like aged or changed at all, but that's not like a good thing. They're exactly the same as they were 15 years ago, which is not very
shitty.
good in the ring.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, they haven't aged a day in the ring. That's because they were throwing shitty punches and arm drags. And that was it. Like,
Can I also ask, did I say Outlaws or Insiders? I really meant Outlaws. I'm sorry if it was a slip of the tongue.
Whoop,
I think you said the other thing, but I'm not positive.
Oh, well.
Oh, God.
Either way,
I think you said Outlaws.
Oh, well, let's hope so.
If not, hi, guys.
Yeah, we're Hall of Famers. Anyway.
So, what was next after the Ascension match? Don't fill me in.
Hold on, about Road Dogg, though.
Oh, okay.
Why is he not a commentator?
Because he speaks too Southern for anyone to actually pay attention. Or by anyone, I mean Vince.
He is so fucking good.
Because he would.
Road Dogg does not sound that Southern.
Okay.
No, but to Vince, he does.
Yeah, they would rather have Booker, who, speaks basic English, and JBL, who speaks Texan. So, I mean...
Shucky, ducky, quack,
Can we get a commentary team of Road Dogg and Christian, because he's not doing anything and he can talk, and maybe Big Show, he did good when he was on commentary.
No!
Forget all of that. Put Vince back on commentary.
No!
No, not anymore. That ain't happening anymore.
What a maneuver!
Michael Cole is exactly what Vince McMahon would be right now.
Yeah, but
Because he's fed what Vince McMahon wants him to say.
Yeah, but Vince, to be fair, Vince puts more energy into it. But JBL's one guy who needs to get off the commentary team. JBL needs to go.
JBL was like an exceptional commentator in 06 and 07, and I do
'Cause he
not
was
really know
drunk.
what happened to him.
He was drunk. That's why, and he wasn't listening to the voice in his ear. That's what happened.
Yeah, like he was putting everybody over and shit. He was like,
Oh
really
yeah, he
good.
was shit-faced during those shows. That's why he was so good, because he didn't care.
Sometimes it's good not to care.
Absolutely.
Sometimes.
But it's a shame. It's a shame everyone cared about the Rumble.
Oh.
People cared a little too much.
People did care too much about the Rumble, but we'll get to that as
Dude.
we move through the card.
Can we skip the Divas match, please?
Yeah, we can't skip the Divas match. Oh, Divas! Oh, they were amazing! Ha ha! No, move on.
It was basically fine. I don't
It
know.
was fine. I liked it for what it was. It was short. I didn't mind it.
I think we
man.
just broke Skeletor with the
I know,
laugh track.
Jesus Christ, we got fucking Muttley over there.
Yeah, I am not.
Oh my God! He's dying.
God.
Someone
do
on
that
Twitter,
to me.
call 911.
So our good friends over at Rambling About Wrestling, which we'll get into later, by the way, have said #FireCole.
Yay! Thanks, guys.
Man. Oh, don't play the Muttley. I mean, don't do a Muttley laugh. It makes me do the damn Muttley laugh. Motherfucker, stop! Son of a bitch.
Okay, so
moving on.
I'm gonna ask them how did we feel about Usos versus Miz and Mizdow?
The most popular guy in that match did not get into the match.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah, that's
That's the exact point.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Like-
push that as long as they can before Mizdow turns and snaps.
Well, yeah, because
I-
people want to see him, and they're holding him back, and they're holding him back, and it's a really smart bit of business.
I
think
fully
Mike's doing
expect
really
them-
well.
I fully expect that they let him go, like at Miz, the week before Mania. Like, I think they'll hold it off that long. I think Vince has the balls to hold it that long.
And he
Yeah.
should. It's working.
And then they'll be in the Battle Royal.
Ugh, sad times.
You know they're
Oh.
not getting a singles match at Mania.
Oh,
There's
I am-
I was
I'm-
hoping for at least a pre-show.
Paul,
No.
I was going to say pre-show match because what they can do is they can start pushing Mizdow the way that Triple H turned from being a really weird character to being a really serious one.
No, he's too good of a comedy character to get away from.
They're going to keep him as the.
And he's not a good enough worker, too, to be a serious in-ring
Yeah,
guy.
He's
So.
basically okay, and that's it.
Yeah, he's
But-
a funnier. He's a better Santino. That's what he is. And it's a good role for him. It's a good spot for him. He owns it.
You sound
Yeah.
like Triple H. That's a good spot for you, Daniel. P+.
There's nothing wrong with being a solid mid-card comedy act. Like,
The
there's been a lot
world
of good
needs
ones.
ditch diggers too. So
It does. It does.
not everyone can be a main eventer. So
Speaking of ditch diggers,
Somebody's got to clean the toilets.
that's right.
speaking of ditch diggers, that Divas match at the Royal Rumble.
Say that again?
Speaking of ditch diggers, that
You
Divas
fucked
match.
that segue. You dragged that segue down and raped it in front of all of us.
So let's pull it back a bit. Let's pull it back a bit. This is a question
Put it away. Put it back.
we received a tweet, and I think we should answer this. I do feel he's expecting a little bit of a biased answer, though. From Let's Go Rollins,
Oh,
which would be the better match if both were to happen at WrestleMania? Rollins versus Orton, or Bryan versus Ziggler? Honestly, I think Orton versus Rollins has more of a story,
yeah.
Yeah, it actually has a
Brian-
narrative and works.
but Bryan Ziggler would be a better work.
Yeah, but you when you have a good heel face dynamic, you can't replicate that. You're gonna have two faces going against each other.
Dude, just wait for when Seth Rollins is that freaking Phoenix Splash and Randy catches him in midair. Just
Yeah,
Oh
with
my god, that would be
RKO?
amazing.
Absolutely, he would.
that's a million times better than whatever the hell you're gonna get in Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler. And I like those guys. I like Dolph okay, but Daniel Bryan's like my favorite guy.
Dolph would sell like an idiot to Bryan, and
Yes,
that would
he would.
just make the match for me. So.
Well, yeah, you see the Buzukai knee or whatever, and then
Whoa,
Dolph.
Hey. Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants, coming out with big names.
And then Dolph does 3 backflips after it, and then has a seizure on the floor.
Yeah.
And that's just after the first slap.
That's after a yes chant. So.
Hey, Krista, how are we doing? Thank you for joining.
Oh, fuck, I'm not going to get to talk now.
Did you say I'm not going to get to talk now, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that I've had an opportunity so far, thank you very much, Paul and Aaron.
Oh, sorry. You know how we are? We're Twitter's greatest tag team. We hold motherfuckers down.
We do. You will not perform better than we do.
We are what the Ascension should be.
You did not hold them down. You didn't hold them down on Sunday night.
Dude, we're like we are. I know Paul's gonna be mad because I'm comparing us to Tyson Kidd. We're gonna be like what Tyson Kidd was trying to do in NXT, where he's like, I'm gonna protect my spot from all you guys.
Guess what? That tag team of ours, it's done now. Thanks.
Oh damn! We've been together for like a year.
You fucking ruined it.
Oh.
One word.
You've just been super kicked through a pane of glass.
Oh shit! There's no coming back from that.
Oh,
So
you're definitely the Genetti of the team too. So.
Krista, now
I'm at least a Christian.
Well,
I'm
you're
at least a
Genetti.
Christian.
dear God, guys. So, Krista, now that you've joined us,
Yes.
we were given a question off Twitter, and basically the question straightforward was, which would be the better match if they both happened at WrestleMania? Rollins versus Orton, or Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler? What's the better
Would be
match?
the better match if they were both at WrestleMania.
Yeah, if they were both at Mania.
I'm gonna have to say Bryan Ziggler.
Ooh, breaking the curve.
Going against the grain there.
That's right, sweets.
Women.
Yeah.
I don't mean that at all.
I think just because like be a little bit more dynamic. Randy Orton's just not that dynamic anymore.
Wait, what? Do you not remember the Elimination Chamber last year?
Randy Orton can still go, and he
never
goes at
said
the same
he
level
couldn't.
he always has gone.
I never said he couldn't go. He can go all day long. All
Whoa.
I'm saying though
Hey,
is that he's pretty much, the heel version of the 5 Moves of Doom.
no, come on.
He just works like it's 1981. That's
he's
that's
a
it.
very methodic, scientific wrestler. We're not used to seeing that nowadays, where he will work a body part.
he
Which
will
is-
work a body part for like
Yeah.
a whole match and
No.
actually incorporate it into the finish.
Not even
And a
that,
lot of
he
guys-
will work a crowd as well. I mean,
Boys, I think for me, for Orton, it's just I get tired of hearing an RKO out of nowhere.
So yeah, the problem is fire cool, and we're all good.
It's pretty much a given. It's his signature move. It's the same friggin', letters of his initials.
The
hashtag
only
fire.
the only kayfabe news article I've ever thought was funny was scientists find that 98% of RKOs are actually out of somewhere.
Well, it is Maggle calling that, so you know.
Maggle.
All right, guys. What was the next match on the card to discuss?
The Divas match, but we're skipping that, so
Yeah,
it
we're
would be
We've been
triple threat.
supposed to talk about the Divas match for the last 5 minutes, and it just hasn't happened.
Right.
So
What's
let's
after
move
the
on.
Divas match then, guys?
The triple threat.
Okay, Chris. I want you to start this off because I've got a funny feeling you're gonna be nice about it, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, triple threat was a 5-star match. It made all 3 guys look strong. It made Lesnar look ridiculously strong for just kicking out of like one AA, he got straight up, another AA, he got straight up, another AA. Oh, he kicked out like a 1 count. Jesus Christ. You had the Phoenix Splash from Seth Rollins, which was insanely cool to see. You had the elbow as well. Then you got Lesnar, who just looked like, oh, look, suplex, 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 and another one. He didn't even have to do anything other than F5 and suplex that match.
That's very true. I mean, it was Lesnar for me was still the star of the match, and I'm saying that over Rollins, but
I think Rollins was the star, but I think Lesnar was the guy who showed power in the match more than star stuff. He wasn't the star of the match, he was the powerful one of the match.
I can give you that, yeah. Aaron, what's your thoughts on the triple threat?
I loved it. I liked every single person was utilized to their fullest ability, and Brock Lesnar is basically on a whole other level than everyone else. Like, he's the definition of when I talk about the fact that work rate is a thing that doesn't actually matter, and it's Brock Lesnar. He does like 4 moves, but you feel it, and there's like intensity in what he does. It all feels really natural and real, and like he's actually reacting to a situation, and it works. He's better than just about anybody else in the world at professional wrestling, despite the fact that he doesn't seem to actually want to do it that much.
Except for when it comes to selling.
Well, he's doing the job he's meant to be doing.
You show me somebody that has taken a curb stomp better than him.
I was going to say, I would give him 10 out of 10 for the curb stomp selling, but for most other moves, I'm not sure if it's just because his face doesn't show emotion that well, but he doesn't look hurt for most moves.
He shouldn't sell.
That's his character, yeah, it works so well.
I like he sold just enough that like when he won the match, when he showed up at the end after the Phoenix Splash and F5'd the shit out of Seth Rollins and pinned him. Afterwards, freaking Brock looked like he was gonna vomit. Like he looked like he was about to die after the match ended. But he had powered through the whole thing, and he looked like an insane monster that they haven't really managed to pull off in a long time. Like he was like Vader, like early Vader levels of just insane. Also, the Phoenix Splash was a cool move that I've never seen before.
Yeah,
so I popped for that.
The Phoenix Splash.
Sorry, I was going to say, Let's Go Rollins says the idea of the Phoenix Splash into the RKO would be insane.
Yep.
Yeah, that is something I would like to see. I mean, I've been saying, could you imagine like a corkscrew shooting star press into an RKO, but a Phoenix Splash into one as well would just be phenomenal.
Krista, what's your thoughts on the triple threat? Did you enjoy it? What didn't you like about it?
Well, considering the feed I was watching on wasn't cooperating all that well, in light of the entire pay-per-view, I think it should have closed the show. Each man played his part well. But again, like with Cena, we say the same thing over and over again, so there wasn't really anything new from him. I wasn't exactly chuffed with the whole triple threat.
Ooh, so controversial. Like,
I think it might have been just the overall pay-per-view where I started to lose interest. And I'm watching this triple threat, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I actually looked at my watch and said to myself, wrap it up, boys, it's going long.
I've heard that before. Sometimes, I personally find triple threat matches not all that great. This, for me, was by far the best triple threat match I think I've seen. And enjoyed, should I say. I'm a big fan of the dynamics. You had the bruiser in there, you had your fan favorite, and you had the heel. And it made it so unpredictable. No one really knew going in who was going to walk out champion. Because that's why they put the Rumble on last. Because had they put the Rumble on before that match, everyone would have known who was walking out champ.
No, everybody would have shit on that match. That's why it didn't go on last. Everything that happened with this show was very calculated because of the end of the show. They knew what they were doing.
No, they thought they knew what they were doing.
I'll explain once we get to the Rumble. But for me, this was the second best match I've seen this year. So it was a damn good match, really good triple threat.
I'd just like to point out the has just started to saying it was the second best match I've seen.
Is it like some Wrestle Kingdom stuff? Is that...
Yeah, Nakamura and Kota. That's gonna be my match of the year, guaranteed. But it didn't overdo the gimmick of of having somebody always having to constantly sell outside of the ring. It didn't overdo that. You had Brock take the big move, and he was out for most of the match, and it worked. Because you see that overdone, where a triple threat is basically just a singles match with somebody always selling on the outside.
And sometimes it's ridiculous because guy gets punched to outside and then he sells it for 10 minutes.
I will say that the one point that I did actually enjoy of the triple threat match was the whole Seth jumping from the ring onto Brock on the table.
That was the most perfect elbow drop I've ever seen, and I say it beat Shawn Michaels one.
I think it
was executed perfectly.
It looks like he missed his target a little bit.
It looked like he couldn't decide which elbow he wanted to use. So. But yeah, as far as a triple threat match goes, it was pulled off about as good as you're gonna have one. It was a fantastic match, and the ending was logical and it worked.
The only thing that made no sense
it was my bright spot of the show.
The only thing that makes no sense to me whatsoever was the fact that he didn't cash in at all.
He didn't need to.
Well, he just got pinned. The reason the ending works is because he's the one who got beat. So he's tore up, and you don't cash in when you're on the ground and the other guy is walking away.
I would see Seth cashing in at Fastlane.
Really? Because I'm going to be that guy and say he's the first one to do it at WrestleMania.
It wouldn't be... Wait.
He wouldn't be the first, because didn't Edge cash in at Mania?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Sad times.
When Kane cashed in the same night, was that at Mania or at Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank.
I was going to say, that's not a real thing either.
He had that belt for like 5 months.
Yeah, but it was the way he won it was ridiculous.
He beat up on Rey Mysterio.
This is WWE. It's supposed to be ridiculous.
Okay, fair point. What I mean, though, is with Seth Rollins cashing in, I don't know if anyone saw his tweet, I am the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not going to get all cryptic on this, but if you want to tease something, if Reigns wins that belt and Seth Rollins cashes in, you get the biggest double turn thought at a WrestleMania.
But what's this, sorry?
Money in the Bank ladder match before the title belt?
But hold on, what was this about? What did you say that was?
I said, at Mania, if Rollins cashes in on Reigns, the minute he wins the belt, that's going to be the biggest double turn the next night on Raw.
Yeah.
I have a question, though. Don't they do the Money in the Bank ladder match before the title bout?
What?
No, but it's at Money in the Bank, the pay-per-view now. It's not at Mania. It doesn't matter.
No, but doesn't he have to cash it in before Mania?
No,
he has
it's
to
only
cash it in
before
before
July.
Money in the Bank.
He has 365 days to cash in, hence he cashed in the day after Mania.
Yeah, that happened. That's a historical fact.
The only reason I said it is because it was one of the biggest pops I've heard.
And if he did it the night after WrestleMania, they've got the biggest Raw crowd they're ever going to have.
I'm saying doing it at Mania. I think it works better.
Yeah, and then he gets punched out by Roman Reigns. If they put that belt on Reigns, he's not losing it in 30 seconds later. Not happening.
No. It's not Daniel Bryan, after all.
A big difference here. They know the risk that they took on Sunday of doing this. They know the backlash that they're going to have. They have to go forward. They have to go forward with this. Blah.
I have to admit, the one thing I can see them doing is If the feud doesn't go as well as they want it to the point that Reigns isn't getting cheered, I could see the cash in at Mania happening. If not, I could see it happening the day after, because I think that it's more important for him to cement Reigns as being the guy that beat Lesnar than it is to have somebody else cash in and have the crowd be happy.
True.
Yeah, they're not in the business of making crowd happy right now. They're in business of making main eventer Roman Reigns. That's it.
So let's talk about how that man Roman Reigns.
Getting casual fans in the seat. That's really what it comes down to.
Right,
Yep.
and that's what WrestleMania is going to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
So let's discuss how that man Roman Reigns got his Royal Rumble win in the shambolic 30-man match. Straight up, I didn't enjoy it. We called Bubba Ray coming back 6 weeks before it happened.
yeah,
we didn't call the Boogeyman, but I'm okay with that.
I would just like to point out the main reason we called Bubba Ray was because of my friend John.
Yeah, let's no.
No, stop it. Don't be giving other people credit. That's us.
We
Yeah.
don't have.
We're not here to share.
We're
came
here
up
to
with that
win.
jet.
Oh,
We came
wow.
up with that jet.
Guys, he's finally made a return. Do we all remember Weird Invisible Rory? Who started doing Lowdown with us originally?
Yeah, what? Where's he been? What the heck?
Oh,
Well,
Bacon War.
yeah, I tweeted and said, will Rollins cash in at Mania? He replied, yes, win it. Ambrose involved, big match, SummerSlam. Perfect. I'm not sure why he has to tweet with so much punctuation. It makes him sound like he speaks with a broken speech.
I do agree with
I
him
mean, all he does is talk about soccer. So
Yeah, I mean, that's my fault. I curb stomped him. He got some brain damage. But, I mean,
So, yeah.
he was gonna eclipse me in popularity, so I had to remove him.
So anyway, now that we've got back to the point, Royal Rumble. I mean, I know it's tough to talk about without being angry. Chris, I know you had a lot you wanted to talk about this. Please try not to go on a 6-minute rant.
Okay, this was the...
And just to break it up, there's going to be sound effects.
No, just shut up. Okay, the start of the match we didn't have a problem with, because obviously, Bubba Ray coming back third. You had the Boogeyman come back and have his little stare down with Bray Wyatt, which I thought was really well done. Bully Ray should have lasted longer. Daniel Bryan shouldn't have gone out so goddamn soon. Big Show and Kane. Big Show doesn't look strong. He looks like a fucking pussy, so does Kane now. That was a waste and a half. Basically, this entire Rumble was like, oh, hey guys, we're going to make Roman Reigns look good. And they were, surprised when the crowd booed the shit out of him? Yeah. Good job, Vince. Good job.
Cool. I actually agree with quite a bit of what you said, but I'll get into that in a second. Aaron, Skeletor, how did you find the Rumble match?
Oh, Kane broke the record, so it's the best Rumble match ever.
Okay.
Kane looked good.
Kane
I
broke
loved it.
the total elimination record. So,
I
best
was
Rumble
happy.
ever. But all the returns were handled really well. Like Bubba Ray got his, that looked good. Boogeyman getting murdered by Bray Wyatt was pretty funny. DDP got as good of a comeback as he could have gotten, basically, due to just diamond cuttering everyone in the world and then going away. But however, the final 10 minutes of that Rumble match were probably the worst final 10 minutes of any Rumble match I have ever seen, because there were ways to at least somewhat book against the fact that the crowd's going to hate Roman, except they chose to do it in the way where everyone knew he had already won 10 minutes before the match ended. So there was no drama in it, and the crowd got increasingly angry as Kane and the Big Show did mild offense to him in a failed attempt at drama. There were vastly better ways to handle that, they probably could have afforded to have just put Roman in that match earlier and let him actually come off like a workhorse by doing stuff and not spending the entire match in the corner. They could have tried a few things. Like they were going to react badly, no matter what happened. But there was ways to make it less bad. Like, I didn't even hate the choice of Roman that much, but I knew 10 minutes before the match ended that it was over and he'd won, which is painful. So, yeah, that.
Krista, how did you find it?
In a word, boring. I'm not a big fan. Like, when I watch the Royal Rumble match, I want to see at least 20 guys in there fighting to be number one. I don't want to sit there and watch Bray Wyatt stand by himself in the middle of the frickin' ring as each guy comes out and he just kicks him out of over the top of the rope. That's boring. That's bullshit.
I enjoyed that bit.
I didn't. I was just like, you have got to be kidding.
I also enjoyed that bit.
Oh, God. Maybe we're all wrong.
I'm sure
No,
you did. For me, it just, I think Bryan should have been in there longer. You know, he was only in there for 10 minutes. Having Sin Cara and Zack Ryder in there, and Titus O'Neil. Titus, who was out in 4 seconds, did not beat Santino's record of 1 second. As far as I'm concerned, those guys were just in the ring to get their pay-per-view paycheck, and that spot could have been used for somebody else. I was disappointed not to see Sheamus or Orton in the match. You know, because they're fairly entertaining. The returns were great. Bubba Ray coming out, did the spot, got the pop, yeah. The Boogeyman coming out, seriously, nightmares galore. Thanks, WWE and Vince. DDP looked great, came in, did what he had to do. Kind of went out with a bit of fanfare, not really. You know, they also seem to want to book Rusev to make Rusev look, you know, imposing.
It worked.
It worked. That worked. What I didn't really like about that, though, was that it kind of hid off stage for a while. Like, the only person that hides off stage, in my mind, in the Battle Royals is Miz.
Or Jerry Lawler.
Or Jerry Lawler, yeah. But
Drew Carey.
You know, for Rusev to be booked as a monster and to do all those eliminations only to friggin' hide? Like, what is that? So is he a monster, or is he a trick shit that hides underneath the ring?
I have to admit, it comes to something as well, and this is something Levels will probably get into in a bit. It comes to something when the crowd starts cheering the guy who hates America over the face.
Yeah.
Indeed. Paul, how'd you find it?
All right, I will rationalize everything in the Rumble because they knew that this was going to get shit on here at the end. They knew it. That's why, you know, that you have Daniel Bryan out there. I was saying beforehand that you couldn't have Bryan and Roman in the ring at the same time if Bryan isn't winning. Their plan was get him out of there early enough, and the crowd will tire themselves out with boos. That's what their plan was. It was furthered by, you know, having Kofi Kingston come out next, and here comes the big Kofi spot, which kind of fell flat. All the pieces, the pieces were okay, but they were just in the wrong order. I mean, who looked strong coming out of that match? Bray Wyatt, kind of. And then Big Show and Kane. In what fucking universe are we living in that Big Show and Kane need to look like established main eventers?
I'll hit on that in a minute.
Exactly. You know, Rusev looked terrible. I mean, I honestly forgot that he was still in the match.
I didn't.
You know, and what sucks is that, you know, you got to feel bad for Roman Reigns. I mean, you know, he knew the position that he was going to be put in. He knew that he was going to get booed. They even paraded The Rock out there, and Rock couldn't even save it. You know, it was just a piss-poor booking decision, but everything that they did was mitigated to try and not have him get completely shit on there at the end. That's why it went on last. Yeah, it was an unmitigated disaster, and hopefully, Roman's career doesn't go into shitter because of this, because he deserves a lot better than that.
I'd just like to jump in here quickly and say what you said about Bryan having to be out first. Not necessarily. I mean, you could have very easily had something like Big Show and Kane get rid of Bryan and Reigns tries to save him.
Nope. If I'm booking it, nope. I don't have those two in the ring.
Why would Reigns try save him when it's an all for all?
Because the face, it would help him get over with the crowd, I feel.
He doesn't need to help Bryan to get over the crowd. He is over with the crowd, just not smart crowds.
Or better yet, if Bryan eliminated himself and the other two at the same time.
Nope. I mean, that's why they saved, like, Dolph Ziggler. People wanted him to be in the match longer. You bring him out at 30 so he doesn't get the Rey Mysterio treatment from last year and get booed out of the building, because they knew he wasn't going to get booed.
Because he came in at 30, didn't he?
Yep. That's why they put him there, so he didn't get the Rey treatment from last year. Remember how Rey got booed out of the building?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, everything they did was very calculated. It just was poorly executed.
And they could have also brought out Dean Ambrose in the last spot, too, and he wouldn't have gotten booed either.
That's true. To be honest with you guys, I didn't like the Rumble compared to the other ones I've watched. And I don't mean that as in, like, it was a bad Rumble. There was spots in it that made sense, like Paul said. This idea that Rusev had to look strong, there is a reason for that. We all know what that reason is. And we all choose to ignore it. We know why Reigns has to look strong. You know why Bray Wyatt has to look strong, seemingly because of all the rumors that are going around. As far as Big Show and Kane go, I'm just saying, if Dean Ambrose has to face anyone, that's two names that are in the hat.
No,
they're all going to be in the Battle Royal. That's what's going to happen to all these.
Kane and Big Show had better be in the Battle Royal, because I don't want to see them in a singles match ever again in their fucking careers.
Okay,
you see,
that's pretty unfair.
No, I completely agree. They are
Kane's
both good.
Kane's a guy who should be working backstage with the younger talent, and Big Show's a guy who should be released.
Yeah.
No, Big Show, I agree, working with the younger talent, actually. The guy can sell a match when he's doing it well. The issue is that he's not given the chance to, and obviously he's older and slower now.
I was going to say, but when was the last time he had a good match?
Mark Henry.
Yeah.
He's another one that was missing from the Rumble.
Yep.
Well, you couldn't bring back, you couldn't have too many of these surprise returns. They knew they had to take a shit in this match.
Yeah.
But again, it's the first chapter in this story that ends at WrestleMania.
I mean, could you imagine, honestly, if Orton, Sheamus, Mark Henry had all came in and Reigns puts them out?
Yeah,
I mean,
Reigns is going to get booed even worse. So
do you know what I think?
What they were doing.
Do you know what I think they should have done for the number 30 position? Just have Punk's music playing and no one walk out.
No, that makes it even worse.
They didn't even acknowledge those dumb shit.
Yeah, that just makes it worse. They already knew that they were in for a bad night.
I was going to say, the fact that the crowd was chanting his name, I would have just done it for the shits and giggles.
I will say I was a little disappointed that there wasn't an NXT guy in there.
Yes,
At least one.
I was hoping to see at least Zayn, Breeze, or Balor. Or even Neville, because Neville's meant to be coming up next.
No, because then they just get brought in to get thrown out.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're gonna do that, you play it up on TV. You have a tournament, you have a battle royal for the spot to be in the Rumble. To me, that makes all the sense in the world. It makes compelling TV for a couple of weeks.
Yes, yeah, but considering the kind of crowd that Philadelphia is, I think it would have been a good idea.
And I think partially with the Rumble too, because let's face it was basically a throwaway Royal Rumble. Like and if you're gonna have guys that are gonna be kicked out of the ring like in seconds, might as well give it to the jobbers.
Right, you might as well have Zack Ryder come back. Exactly, completely agree with you.
Zack Ryder got one of the biggest pops of the night.
Yep, and he was in for 34 seconds.
Yep, that was good.
Axel didn't even make it to the ring.
Yeah, he's lucky he even has a job. That
Axel should get a title shot at Fastlane just for that.
You know, and it's the only like part of the Rumble that I really thought for me, being as lackluster as it was, is it's really interesting that they had Wyatt eliminate Harper. You know, and there was that moment where Rowan comes out and you think Rowan and Harper are going to team up against Wyatt, and then they don't.
I think that's the safety feud in case Taker's not ready.
Well,
they already gave it away on TV, so who cares? You know, they've already really blown all that stuff off. I mean, if they would have just kept all three of those guys away from each other on TV, I think that would have been a pretty big spot. That would have been a pretty big moment.
That'd be a good triple threat, though, to be fair, for Mania.
Yeah, for a good SmackDown, yeah. That's not happening to Mania.
No, not anymore.
Well, Luke Harper and Wyatt have never faced off in any way.
I'm gonna go out there and basically call this now. The reason Big Show and Kane look strong is because, frankly, this will be their last year. This will be their last year. They're going to retire at some point this year, guaranteed.
Big Show's not a 10-year contract. When does that expire?
Well, you know, you also, they're both big, giant guys as well. So, you know, you have that aesthetic of two big guys against Roman. So, you know, I mean, that's another reason why they were in there. Again, it makes sense, but no one wanted to see it because no one really thinks that one of those two is going to win.
No.
I mean, there was no suspension of belief that someone else was going to win. And that's really what they had to do. I mean, if they went about it the right way, Roman was going to win, you had to take any doubt away that someone else could. And they did exactly that. But, you know, in just the most piss-poor way possible, and it was a terrible fucking match. But again, you know, first chapter in the story, you gotta eat shit, and they've moved past it. So, you know, and Monday night was a blessing in disguise. It corrected a lot of things. So.
Yep, we're gonna talk about that in a second. Just as we've hit the midnight hour, guys, I think it's about time we spat out the news we were going to tell you. Earlier on today, a couple of us made the decision that it's about time that Levels of Wrestling kind of pulled their fingers out and did something new. And we kind of want to bring you guys something that will not only expand what you listen to, it might also help change your views on things a little bit at times by giving you a multitude of options to choose from. So currently, Levels of Wrestling is working within itself and within other podcasts to bring you a larger, more developed programming system. Right now, I can quite happily say that we have joined, as you may have seen earlier on Twitter, with Ringside Rambler on Twitter, who are also known as Rambling About Wrestling, who Paul joined earlier this week as a representative.
Yes, indeed.
And I can quite happily say, who will be joining us in a moment or two, that Mind of Carnage will also be joining us under the branches of the Level of Wrestling umbrella. So there you go, guys. We're going to have 3 completely separate podcasts all coming under the same umbrella family. And this means that you guys are going to have a much more developed chance to listen to different products. You're also going to have a much more developed opportunity to have a different opinion on each show. So with this, obviously, in future, you can expect a little bit of joint shows like we kind of used to do with Minds of Carnage, and you can also expect us to do a little bit of things with other companies. But what we want to know from you guys is essentially who you would like to see join the Levels of Wrestling family, and what kind of podcasts you would enjoy seeing with us under the Levels of Wrestling. Just tweet it in, let us know. We want to make this your product just as much as ours. So anything that you can give us is just as good.
I don't want to go that far. It's still our product. Sorry, guys.
Actually, their opinions matter more than Chris's.
And we're gonna start
we're
have Aaron join Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Skeletor. Get on
Indeed.
Facebook.
Come
I've
on,
been
Mike.
trying not to die for a few days, so.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, if you guys, if any of you out there, if you guys write, if you guys do YouTube shows, you guys do podcasts, let us know. You know, we are more than happy to give anybody a shot. I mean, you know, we want to just build a wide variety of things for you guys. I mean, whatever shows you guys want us to cover, let us know. Give us topics, give us shows, whatever. I mean, the Nitrocast will eventually be coming back, and it will be under the Levels of Wrestling banner. I mean, this is an exciting time for us, and we're just happy to have you guys with us.
And of course, if you're not quite understanding this concept, as Chris said earlier on today, you can think of this as the GFW of podcasts.
I said that.
Nah, Chris said that. You're not important. Shut up.
That was
Paul.
me. I said we're global.
No. He said we're GFW. I said no. We actually do things.
Well, there we go. So, thank you for joining us, Minds of Carnage, or as some may be seeing you on YouTube as Games of Carnage. How you doing, man?
Not bad. Yourself, guys?
Hey,
not
how's
bad.
it going, buddy?
Right
bad.
here,
Fine.
How? Oh, fine. That's great.
Good Christ! Wow. What a fucking welcome that was. Fine.
Hey, I appreciated that welcome.
Good Christ! Thanks, Eeyore. You wonder why we're not a tag team anymore.
And he didn't even get any applause.
Sorry. I was just going to give him a great send-off at the end, but hey.
A middle finger is not always a great send-off.
We're giving him that sweet Viking funeral.
But, and what do you mean you want a good intro? I mean, the best intro you could have had, man, is you've joined the branches. I mean, you are here with us. You're going to be doing this now almost weekly.
Yeah,
So, I mean, this is going to be a good chance for everyone.
Oh, I am, and I'm very excited to come on the roster now. I know the one thing that I've always liked to do is to spread my carnage around everyone else's minds, and that's one thing that I plan to do, and I am happy and honored to join you guys.
Actually, my mind is pretty rotted.
Well, there you go.
Well, just remember though, anytime that you need a guest on your show, I am a podcast whore. So.
I plan to whore you. I plan to get that ass on the damn microphone.
All right, I can dig it.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
So, as long as everyone's happy...
I'm glad that tag team ended then.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck you.
That's a little gross.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is Los Matadores version .2.
That's right. I thought we had a tag team partner.
Because the first one wasn't bad enough.
That's what Rumble was Los Matadores in that little bowl.
Yeah, you see Aaron, me and you, we were Arn and Tully, but now you're gone. Now it's Arn and Zabisco now. It's just as good, goddammit.
Yeah, it's just as good, but not as well remembered.
Speaking of Arn,
go on.
Nah, never mind.
I did wonder where you were going with that.
Invalid point.
No, we are so glad to have you though.
No, and like I said, I'm very happy to be here, and I can't think of anyone else I'd like to do this with. So yeah.
I can.
Chris, get off the show. So, now that you're here, let's all discuss this horrific snow that caused the problems with Raw not to run as a real show. That really was quite a lifesaver for the company. I mean, that had more viewers than current Raws, but has had less viewers than post Rumble Raws. But somehow led to more people subscribing to the network, even after the cancel the WWE Network trend.
Yeah, but
that Monday was a hell of a day for WWE. Shut up, Chris. I'm not done.
What you say doesn't matter, Chris. Keep going.
I mean, that was a hell of a day for WWE. So, guys, how did you feel about Raw being this interview kind of process?
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, my point's invalid now. Screw you both.
Okay. Carnage, well, how did you find this episode of Raw, seeing as you're new to the team?
A lot of people said it was refreshing, and I agree with it. The one thing that kind of ticked me off, is specifically as a play-by-play recapper, is that when you replay stuff from the Royal Rumble that you spent 30 minutes recapping, it's a little bit annoying. But other than that, it was really refreshing, and it was refreshing to see Roman Reigns not scripted. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that, like, he wasn't scripted from my understanding, and he was able to actually say things a lot more easier, a lot more clearer. Still stuttered here and there, but still. I liked it.
His voice.
What's that?
It was more of his voice. Whatever they gave him, it sounded like something that he would say. It sounded more genuine.
Mm-hmm.
It also sounded like there was someone behind the camera telling him what to say. Just pointing that out.
Allegedly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Oh, either way. At least for the whole Raw, it was actually really refreshing. And Brock Lesnar said words, and that was impressive.
He did. They were legible, and it was good. It was good.
I have noticed now that since Brock does not talk anymore, when he does talk, it seems to be good.
Yeah, you listen more. It seems important.
It's almost like they planned that.
It's almost like they only give him good lines now.
You know, and I'm kind of interested. Why does he always explode up out of a chair? Can't he just get up easily? It's like he's just thinking he's gonna take a poop, and then he's just like, wait, no, I don't, and he just kind of looks around, not knowing what to do.
The problem is, Brock in a past life was in a boy band, so he's used to those key changes, and he stands up.
He has diverticulitis, so he may really have to go poop really quick. So.
Or it could just be hemorrhoids.
Oh.
Oh.
Here comes the pain.
So itchy.
Oh, poor
Here
Sable.
comes the pain.
Poor Sable.
Enjoy.
Poor Sable, poor Brock.
Poor Sable.
Aaron, I kind of want.
No, guys, they don't always hang out of your ass.
Aaron, I kind of want your opinion on this. I mean, did you watch Raw this week? Because I feel this is something that you would be really into.
Yeah, I really, really liked the interviews. I thought they were really good and well handled, and people sounded natural, and like people actually sounded like they were responding like a person responding to another person, and not someone reading lines to another person, which is very important. It didn't feel manufactured as like backstage segments tend to, and it just like freaking Seth Rollins sounded great, and he like really put himself over in a good way, including when Michael Cole just called his move a splash, and then he corrected him and then called it that's actual name, but it just felt natural and good, and like people, and I feel like they need to do this more. Like they did this with John Cena and Brock Lesnar last year before SummerSlam and Night of Champions, and those were excellent. So I feel like they need to at least do one of these per Raw instead of, whatever hacky comedy segment that they would have in there anyway. Just replace that.
Los Matadores versus Litigator.
Yeah, take that, replace it with a little 10-minute interview segment with people who matter on the show. And yeah, that's about it. That's all that's what that episode showed me, is they need to do more backstage interviews.
All I was happy for is that we didn't see any fist cocking.
No, that was all saved for Michael Cole after the interview.
Oh man, we didn't see any fist cocking.
No.
Wow.
Believe that.
That explains why that interview was so much less sexy than usual.
I didn't sweat through it.
Every interview needs some fist cocking.
Yeah, needs.
I'm kind of scared about what your version of fist cocking is, though.
Exactly as it sounds.
Can I please join?
I'm not sure that's a comfortable thing.
That scared, can I please join, was amazing.
Oh, I mean, as long as we don't make eye contact, it's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, come on, whoever makes eye contact, that's just wrong.
That's just, yeah, you're right. That's just going too far.
Completely too far. Well done, guys. Krista, how did you find Raw?
Well,
the voice of reason.
Well, I watched some segments on YouTube. I didn't actually watch Raw Monday night. I'll tell you guys why. My grandmother is currently in the hospital. Broke a femur, and so that's where I was on Monday night.
Wish her well.
I did watch.
Yes, absolutely.
I did watch some of the segments on YouTube. I did watch the spot with Reigns and Lesnar. And I'd have to say, from what I saw, it was like you guys were saying, it's very natural, it's very organic. It didn't feel forced, everything was measured. And in that spot with Reigns and Lesnar, Reigns, great. Reigns and Lesnar, even Paul Heyman played his role to a T. He was very measured. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't a case of, oh my gosh, we've gone long, so we're going to do some kind of wacky spot to kind of roll us off the camera.
Nothing better than a wacky spot.
Yeah, it was. It did feel like here's these two gentlemen, they're having a conversation, and then they stand up and do, chest to chest. You know how guys are when they try to be intimidating. They stick their chest out. The women
Hey,
do
that's
that
bro
too.
code.
Yeah, the bro code, yeah. And just, very. It made you interested in what could happen. There was no attacking each other. There was no trying to, show how tough each other was. And then there was the handshake. It was great.
I really like Paul Heyman when he doesn't have to overly, when he's not trying to be like a carny in the middle of the ring, which is what he does a lot. When he can just talk in a normal tone, he brings a lot of gravitas to what's happening. When he explained how he didn't understand why people thought Brock couldn't beat Taker, why he didn't understand why people thought Brock couldn't beat Cena. That kind of
He's probably one of the only people, in that when sticking to kayfabe, when he did Lesnar beating The Rock in 2002, and when he didn't come back, and I'm sitting there watching, going, "That's because he was out in Hollywood making movies."
I want to jump in for a second because I actually didn't watch the entirety of Raw because after the Rumble I had no interest whatsoever in Raw. I did watch that interview with Lesnar, Heyman, and Reigns. I feel like that did three things to me. One, it showed that Heyman and Lesnar have the potential to carry this feud. Two, it showed me that Lesnar, when he talks now, when he came back for Extreme Rules and he used to talk by himself before Heyman came back, he sounded like a jackass. Now he sounds like there's some more authority and power in what he says. And three, it showed me that Reigns will work better as a heel because that one line at the end where Lesnar said, "I don't respect you," and Reigns said, "But you will." That to me almost seems kind of borderlining. And to me, I think Reigns will work better as a heel than as a face.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you remember...
As a smarmy face, one of the... So slick he could slide up heels.
Roman, at the minute, for me, I always thought they were going to go down the Cena road, in that he would copy the Cena blueprint, and he would be the next John Cena. It seems more and more like they're going to take Reigns and make him the next Rock. And I don't mean as in stardom-wise, before anyone freaks out. I mean they're going to follow the path that Rock took. He's going to turn heel at some point, no doubt with authority by his side, whether it be Triple H, whether it be Paul Heyman. I'm suggesting Paul Heyman.
Everyone's suggesting Paul Heyman.
Especially after the conversation about the family.
Oh, which he delivered so beautifully, too. Sorry.
Oh, that was touching as hell.
Oh.
I could have sold him my children in the hope that he would tell them that story.
But please, one's four. This one's four.
But seriously,
that's the beauty of Heyman, though. That's the beauty of the role he plays. He's good at what he does.
And like Chris said, that now seems like a believable feud. All that took was one night after the internet complained, saying it'll never work. Why would we ever believe it? This is a crap feud. I'm telling you, it's believable. I'm putting words in your mouth. Shut up.
I would actually believe Reigns, after watching that spot on Raw that was on Raw Monday night, I can actually more readily believe the feud between Lesnar and Reigns than, say, between Lesnar and Daniel Bryan.
Oh, hell, I couldn't have believed Daniel Bryan and Lesnar in the first place. I hated that.
You weren't a big fan of that one?
No, I could not see that happening. It's so unbelievable.
It's like trying to buy in that AJ Lee is a
she's a virgin.
A believable Divas champion because she's just so small.
You also could have said virgin, we'd have all laughed.
Well, it's professional wrestling. Size is, if you
everything.
Right, Spike Dudley can win the world title and you'll believe it.
Nope.
No.
I do believe that.
Rey Mysterio did it in 06. Like, he
That's
beat
'cause
Kurt
Eddie
Angle
died.
and Randy
Yeah,
Orton.
that was whole because of Eddie Guerrero, and it kind of took me off because I didn't mind Rey Mysterio, but it was just kind of the whole thing where he got that because of Eddie Guerrero, and it's like, really?
I can believe Rey Mysterio as the IC title holder or the champion, but not as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Because he sure as hell didn't hold that title for that long.
I have to admit, even seeing matches like Punk and Lesnar was not believable to me because Lesnar looks like he would just murder him.
Yeah.
So who did you say?
I'm not falling for that. You can piss off.
Where's the soundboard? I haven't heard soundboard yet. There you go.
Sorry, it was
Now I'm
needed.
satisfied.
It's always good when you're satisfied. But yeah,
I think that's part of what helps people suspend disbelief, because we all know that pro wrestling is what it is. If you have someone who's, yes, you want the underdog, but there's the underdog and then there's the underdog, right? Whereas some opponents just are not believable to face off one against another. I could totally believe in Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. I could totally buy into that. I could even totally buy into Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins. I could totally buy into that because they're the same basic body size, same basic, selling level. But to put someone like Daniel Bryan into a ring with someone as big as Brock Lesnar, it's like, really?
It tells the best story, though.
Yeah.
It's a David and Goliath story. It works.
Yep, it's always worked. It always will work.
And freaking Batista's bigger than Brock is physically. Like, he's taller, he's wider. He's a bigger dude. And
Is he wider?
They're the same. They're the same weight.
Are you sure?
And Batista's taller.
What about width?
And
I think you mean girth.
Girth? Come on, Aaron. Who's girthier?
Specific
Batista
markings?
or Lesnar? Who's girthier?
Okay. I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore.
Oh, we were talking about feet. What were you talking about? Jeez.
Yeah.
So, straight up question: should WWE do a show like that more often?
Yes.
I think yes. I think for like the bigger pay-per-views, it's great to actually build a storyline, and it's a breath of fresh air for those of us who keep watching the same thing over and over every week.
They have the WWE Network, which is just clamoring for original content. I mean, that's an easy produce right there.
I genuinely believe if they did that, they would have more people on that network.
Yeah,
not that they need it now that they've gone over 1 million,
but that's what the network needs is more original programming, and you do things like that.
And
you're
not
Tuesday Night Titans.
And not reality TV original programming, but stuff that people will actually want to watch.
Like I actually really enjoyed the show more for the reason that it gave wrestlers time off, which is something they won't get normally. I mean, that for them must have been a hell of a good day. You get a paycheck and you get sent home early.
And even on SmackDown too, except they got to compete this Thursday.
Yeah, but that's live now, so that's going to be an interesting SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because everything that was intended to be on Raw, like the big stories, are going to be crammed in SmackDown.
And a casket match.
Which I'm pretty sure is going to... I think the casket match is probably going to open the show.
But going back to Monday, though, I mean, the thing that made that work the most for Roman was that there wasn't a hostile crowd there to submarine him.
Right.
You know, you got fans that were able to take 24 hours, calm down, hear this promo, go, okay, this is a different Roman Reigns than the guy that we saw last week. This is the guy that he was coming out of the Shield. This is the guy that we want. And they are going to portray him as the baddest motherfucker on the planet until WrestleMania, and this will work.
A controlled environment can do wonders.
I would love for him to say that in a promo and just have them bleep it out.
Yep, why not? I'll do it for him.
They're a TV PG. They can beep things. He's allowed to swear
Well,
so long as they beep it.
Like Brock Lesnar and those ones he had with Cena last year, I mentioned, he swore constantly.
And they made
he
it
got
seem
bleeped.
legit, didn't they?
Mm.
Yeah, you got to bring in that. You got to bring in that realism. You know, you have to make this feud personal, which I think they're going to.
Family, family, family.
Absolutely. We already booked this shit, Craig. So.
Yeah, we've
not only that, like with the environment that they were in, it isn't a case of one guy not liking what's going on and then running out of the ring. But there they are. Can't really go anywhere. Here it is.
Yep. For those of you who are wondering as well, when we say we booked this, we decided that for Reigns to be a believable babyface, and we mean like a hero babyface, he needs to have the biggest villain ever that WWE has ever seen since Badass Undertaker destroying Flair's son. Like, God knows what happened in the shower during the promo, but hey.
But
Fist cocking happened.
That's where it was originally planned.
That's where fist cocking
is
started.
white cocking or black cocking?
Bit of both.
Aw.
Just had to go
Well,
there.
you know,
didn't
it does come. It does come in other colors, but I don't see you guys as being minty green.
Oh,
Hey, it can happen.
I eat too many green Tic Tacs.
Ah.
I don't even.
Where's
what?
the laugh track? Where's the laugh track? Come on, Craig.
Sorry that some of us are running the Twitter account at the same time as doing a
Sorry,
podcast.
that one deserved the laugh track.
Multitasking.
There we go.
Okay, now you laughed multitasking. That's a little odd.
Tic Tacs.
It's amazing
Sorry,
that this live studio audience laughed minutes after the joke.
I feel they understand timing better than we do, but that would be a serious moment.
Something else pops in my head, and I don't know if I should say it or not.
Oh, go ahead.
When you talk about multitasking, every man should be able to multitask. Because you'll have the remote in one hand and food in the other. Or you're depending if you're watching porn or not.
That sounds more legitimate.
Boo.
We don't do that. We're clean people.
Bullshit.
I'm married. So I won't say anything here.
Okay. I feel we wouldn't be doing a good job tonight if we didn't answer at least some of the questions that we were sent. So obviously, our regular followers and listeners have all kind of sent us some, so we're going to answer at least two of them.
God damn it.
Sorry, Chris. We'll get to you in a minute. Trina Lay has asked what we feel will now happen with Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, and Dean Ambrose after the Rumble.
They'll all be taken out back by Vince and shot in the head.
Fist cocking.
Well,
As far as individual feuds go, I am seeing Rollins and Orton. Who else was there? Bray Wyatt and who else?
Ambrose.
Ambrose.
Ambrose. Okay. Dean Ambrose in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and Bray Wyatt against either Undertaker or Daniel Bryan.
Do you see the Taker thing happening?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
I'm 50-50 for it.
I want it, but only the way I've said. And I know I tell people not to think like that, but my way's right. Sorry. I genuinely believe the only way that Wyatt should face him should be if he teases the American Badass for the first few weeks, and then at Mania shows up as the dead man.
The other character that's never been undefeated at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Show up as the old broken shell of a man, have Wyatt tear into him, tell him he's nothing anymore, have Taker go over in his last match, but have Wyatt end up inevitably taking him out, so to say, the next night on Raw.
Not a bad idea, actually. I don't find it bad, at least. I didn't mind the badass character. Some people didn't like it. I didn't mind it at all.
Vince hated it.
Well, Vince can go suck a nut.
I I think it was pretty damn good for anybody else, but it was kind of a downgrade from what he had already been doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Different for him at least, right? Like he did the Undertaker for
It
like
was.
years and years. Like
That's
I think it was just something
good
that
point.
I think it was just something that he needed a transition in character, and then he did it, and he was successful with it, and then he just kind of went back to his roots, which was successful either way. Either way you look at it.
To me, it was good because you got to see Mark Calloway.
It brought life to the dead man.
Oh my god, that was the worst.
Honestly, I was hoping. Well, you guys couldn't see this, but I put on my sunglasses, and the Who is playing in the background. I was doing my fucking David Caruso right there.
All right, Horatio, calm down.
Amazing. All right.
It was amazing. God damn it.
The only thing I see is you pointing at me every time you talk, and it's scaring me.
Well, it's because I'm talking directly to you.
I swear to God, one day I'll look out my window and you're there.
Chris,
I'll be wearing
your sweater on too.
I'll be wearing that sweater too.
Chris, where do you see Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, and Dean Ambrose for Mania?
It's hard to say right now. I mean, Seth Rollins will probably end up in his match with Orton, which Rollins deserves better than. Ambrose will probably end up in a god-awful match, which he deserves better than. Bray Wyatt will probably end up working with Taker.
You seem so impressed with this.
Hmm?
You seem like you've given up on Mania already.
Pretty much have.
I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked.
All right, no one cares. Let's move on to me. All right.
All right, go on then, Aaron.
Holy catfish, Boney.
Come on, Aaron. Where do you see them?
All right, Seth Rollins, Orton sounds like a really good match. Like they're both good at what they do, and they have very different styles that would contrast well, presumably. And I don't think they've ever really wrestled each other, so that works too. Like at least one-on-one. Bray Wyatt, I don't see wrestling Taker because Taker's aged like 35 years in the last 12 months. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be dead by next year, so I don't see that. I think Michelle McCool is slowly poisoning him so that she can take his money when he dies. But
Good job.
so I don't see that happening. Bray Wyatt will probably end up wrestling somebody else. It could be some kind of match against it could be some like against Luke Harper finally turns on him kind of thing. It could be a variety of things. Just not going to be against Taker. Then Dean Ambrose, he's probably going to be in the Battle Royal. They might find something else for him. They might, but I don't know what that would be. So probably just the Battle Royal.
All right. I'm going to go through quickly and tell you my Mania card now. And when it gets to Mania, you can come back and check this, but I'm telling you I'm damn close already. We get Cena Rusev. It's going to happen. It's happening at Fastlane. I think they've got to have the rubber match at WrestleMania. Obviously, Rusev has to win the first one at Fastlane. Cena wins at Mania. That's just how it goes.
Both of them lose.
Unless both of them lose, yeah, fine.
Rubber.
Yeah, rubber. Then you're going to have Sheamus Daniel Bryan. It's the perfect story. We booked this last night again. No, don't do it. This is the perfect story.
And it would be a kick-ass match, too.
Gong.
It'll be the best match on the show.
Absolutely. There we go. Skeletor's on board.
Yeah, but he deserves to be higher up on the card.
Daniel
But
Bryan
he
is like the
doesn't.
best worker, and Sheamus is amazing. So them
Daniel
together-
Bryan will elevate Sheamus, and I can't believe I said that, but I mean it. He will elevate Sheamus in this.
Sheamus is a good worker.
And then after this match, you can get Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, because that's going to happen. You're going to get Reigns versus Brock. You're going to get Seth versus Orton. You're going to get Triple H versus Sting.
I want to see Reigns versus Sheamus more than I want to see any other Reigns match. I just want to see Sheamus like beat the hell out of him.
I think you get Wyatt Taker, and if you don't get Wyatt Taker, you at least get a stare down between the two of them. Right? Wyatt needs something at Mania. It needs to be a big moment. As far as Ambrose goes, I honestly believe you can see Ambrose retire Kane at Mania.
Oh God, I hope.
That's way too many singles matches, though.
Yeah, that's my wild card this year, and it is too many singles matches. But you saw how many tag matches were on the Rumble, so don't call me out on that yet.
Maybe, I hope that Kane goes away for a little bit after the casket match. That'll be like
Forever.
When he goes away at the casket match, he can come back in the old Kane gear.
That's what I was gonna say.
Then retire in that at Mania, because Dean Ambrose will put him out being the over crazy person.
That's basically what I was going for.
And at least that way it hides his wrinkles.
Yeah,
but it still won't fix the worst punches in wrestling. So.
Don't you dare.
Historical punching.
He throws the softest punches this side of Tanahashi, so he's...
Well, maybe Goldust can teach him how to punch people.
Yeah, you know.
Just ask JBL, he's stiff.
Yeah,
he's a soft-spoken man that likes to electrocute males' genitalias. What's wrong with that?
After running from politics.
Well, that's why I relate to Kane. But
not that there's anything wrong with that.
To Kane, so you know what it's like to hook up electrodes to some guy's junk?
I thought he was getting into... Is it politics or is he getting into insurance? I thought he was going to open an insurance company.
He and his wife already own an insurance company.
Oh, so he's got pretty much everyone's testicles in a bind anyways.
Yeah.
He's one of the only wrestlers with a long-term marriage. Like, ever.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Good for him, though.
Don't worry, he's had his share of ring rants, though.
Whoa, yuck.
All of them were called AJ. You couldn't see the face I pulled, but I can tell you now that was a suggestive face.
A single eyebrow was raised.
Yeah. Oh, right. Let's hit single eyebrow. My God, how did we miss this? The Rock. How desperate do you have to be to pull The Rock out of wherever he was in the hope that would work?
I'm sure we've all seen the picture of when The Rock was holding up Roman Reigns' hand and The Rock on his face, and even he was like, "Wow."
Well,
shit.
Sorry,
damn.
Chris, but did everybody see the promo on the after show?
Yes.
That was probably the worst Rock promo since he was Rocky Maivia.
But from what I've read, he was pretty pissed backstage.
It was bad.
Yeah, he's a guy that doesn't like to get booed because then he's he doesn't get positive feedback.
Well, I heard that it was more so that he wasn't happy with Brian's position on the card and the way that they booked the show in for the end.
I heard that he
sounds
actually...
like bullshit. That sounds like utter bullshit. That's not true.
I actually heard that he was pissed because he was actually getting booed.
That sounds like a real thing. See, that sounds like a real thing. What Chris said doesn't even sound remotely like a real thing.
No, because it was like they kind of threw Roman under the bus.
There is no way that The Rock paid attention to what was happening and was like, I think Brian should have been booked differently.
No, it was...
That is the utterest of bullshit.
No, it was more so the fact that Roman Reigns was thrown under the bus.
That's why The Rock was there, though. He knew what was going to happen. He was there as everything was trying to be a buffer and to soften the blow. Soften blow.
Hence Vince's tweet earlier, all in the family, hint, hint,
Yeah, no, you see...
that he knew that Roman was going to win anyways. He's like,
what
yes.
What bothers me now, though, is this leaves two doors open. You can either have Rock and Reigns, kind of being that pair that everyone goes, oh, look, it's Batman and Robin. Or you can look at it like Reigns is going to beat the shit out of The Rock and turn heel.
I don't know, is The Rock staying for long?
No.
I just want them to have a tag team match where they team up together and they're the Rock and Reigns connection. That's what I want.
We're going to rain down on this Rock.
It gets...
It's going to be raining down.
That was a bad sound.
Sorry, I threw up a little.
And then you guys made me, even more sick.
That deserved a gong.
Oh no, the gong's saved especially for Chris. Say it, Chris. Say it.
Dance, monkey, dance.
This is essentially what this is, isn't it?
Okay.
I don't know how much time The Rock's gonna have to make those kind of commitments to WWE.
Well, he's got more time than CM Punk.
I guess versus playing the
I think
He's got film commitments, but that means he's going to be there to promote it.
Yeah.
Like, where else does The Rock need to promote except for 90,000 people at WrestleMania?
Depends on what he's promoting.
Fast 7.
Oh, he's got more than that.
Oh,
Fast
God.
8.
He's got like 16 projects on the go.
Fast 29.
And press junkets are pretty intense.
But I mean, we're guaranteed to at least see on Raw or a backstage segment or something where Brock kicks the shit out of him. I gotta think we're gonna get that on the way to Mania.
They're
Like when
going
Big
to
Show
go.
beat up Dusty.
No, they're going to go to the Isle of Samoa, and that's it.
They're just gonna beat up every Samoan there.
Brock is literally going to walk into Rikishi's house and throw him through a window.
Can we get Sika out here?
Find Rikishi.
What was that?
I said he'll have to find Rikishi.
It's not hard. He's large enough.
An idea I had was that Lesnar would destroy the Usos.
He'll do
Well,
that
we-
too.
We said the Usos and basically anyone that's related to Reigns. He needs to
Can
make a
Lesnar
suffering.
please, like, wait, are Alpha and Sika still alive?
Yes.
Who cares? He'll dig him up and beat on him.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Like,
I
he's
you
gonna
want
go-
their bones.
He's
I
gonna
want-
go to fucking TNA and beat on Samoa Joe. I mean, he's gonna beat up every Samoan he can find.
I want Alpha and Sika to get
Why
F5
do you mention
simultaneously.
Like if you mentioned the Usos, and I can honestly see them also, doing what they did with Cena and teaming them up with the Usos, and so the Usos will be teamed up with Roman because they're family. Because they really are
Yesterday
family.
was the first, Monday was the first time we've actually acknowledged the relation between the Usos and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I just hope the Usos fall on steps and break their ankles.
Wow.
I hope they tell her what.
I want
I'm
Psycho
sorry,
Sid to come back and win the belt.
I don't even think Psycho Sid uses his own lungs anymore.
Probably not.
He's
He's
funny
got
on Twitter
mine.
though.
He's
Yeah,
probably lost like 3 inches of height.
he joins in with our tweets if you tweet him. He's really nice like that. Except he
Yeah.
usually gives you abuse.
Just tell him fist bump and he'll retweet you and tell you fist bump back. He's a good guy like that.
And then he wants you to meet him in a dark alley behind a building.
It's like Mojo Rawley and his.
Do you know, let's test this.
I don't want to meet you behind a building.
Is it just Psycho Sid he's under?
Put on a name tag that says Arn Anderson and he'll stab you almost to death with a pair of scissors.
Yeah, he'll stay with some scissors.
Send him the boogeyman.
I don't even know what happened with that. Like, I don't get why Psycho Sid almost murdered Arn Anderson, but
Why
but
not?
I'm still amazed that it happened.
Yeah, what's his name on Twitter? Does anyone know? Psycho Sid?
Psycho
Yeah.
Sid.
It's not at Psycho Sid.
I don't know, it might be at what's his real name? Something Udy? Sid Udy? So I don't know.
It's at Psycho Vicious.
Thank you.
Psycho Vicious.
There you go.
That's actually a pretty clever handle. Alright.
Isn't it? That's a good handle.
Yeah, because it takes the 2 things that got put on Sid that he during different points of his career.
Sid Vicious. Good God.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
So Psycho Vicious, spelled Psycho Vicious.
Yeah, it's with an S for Psycho.
Psycho Vicious Justice.
There we go. Wow, what? Right, there we go. Tweet sent. Let's see how long it takes him.
Yeah.
What
He ain't
did
no
you send?
hardcore Holly. Will get back to me in 3 days if I tweet him now.
Really?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you tweet Mojo Rawley and you get a favourite in like 5 seconds.
Why would anyone want to talk to Hardcore Holly?
'Cause he's hardcore and he's like a Christmas leaf.
He's a nice guy.
Like on one of the occasions, I fully agree with Paul. Hardcore Holly never had a good match in his whole career.
Yeah,
Okay,
and he's just an awful person. after what he did on
Apparently
SmackDown.
changes have been made this year for Mania's 31 plans for Daniel Bryan,
Let's hear it.
whereby it is now expected to be Bryan versus Ziggler instead of Sheamus versus Bryan.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
it is.
No, that is someone looking at what Dolph Ziggler put on Twitter and then putting that out as a rumor. Because they think that there's a chance of that. That's not like an actual thing.
Well, hold on.
No,
Did you get that from Mind of Carnage?
No.
Oh, no, hold on.
All
Dude,
right, because
I like
that's
the
our
Mind of Carnage,
newsman.
but you put some lies in your
It's,
title.
it's also in Mind of Carnage.
All right, Nick Paglino, let's get this
So we
down.
know it's not true.
According to the Wrestling Observer, WWE has made a major shift in plans for Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 31, and the previously planned Bryan vs. Sheamus 3 bout has been scrapped. That makes me very sad. I booked this shit. Fuck you, WWE.
I don't
Furthermore,
think-
the recent interactions between Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler on Twitter are reportedly more than just banter, as the working creative plan for WrestleMania 31 is Daniel Bryan vs. Dolph Ziggler.
Fine, but then you got to turn Ziggler heel.
Oh,
Yeah.
they included that
At
on
least
the
go to
video game,
authority,
too.
yeah.
Because on the 2K15 video game, Michael Cole talks about the fact that Dolph Ziggler wants to wrestle Daniel Bryan, like as like one of the random tidbits in the commentary for some reason.
Do you know what I
Don't pay
really want to
attention
see
those too much.
is heel Daniel Bryan. I don't want to see face Daniel Bryan. I'd
He's
be
pretty-
interested.
He's too
Dude's
bulletproof.
Yeah,
Yep.
how do you turn him?
How do you turn
You
him?
know,
Put him with
Nobody-
you're gonna put him with the
nobody-
authority now or something?
No, he
Nobody
pulls a
as over
Snitsky.
as him. The
Pulls
only
a
way to
Snitsky.
turn somebody like at that level is to make him beat up on somebody even more over, and there is no one.
Unless he goes after Roman Reigns, jealous that he took his spot.
No, he's
People
still not gonna
love
get good
him.
enough. Yeah.
So-
That's the different reaction.
So, bearing in mind, if that's Daniel Bryan now got a feud, what happens with Sheamus?
Andre
retires.
Battle Royal.
Oh damn! I want Sheamus to have a real match that's like good with Daniel Bryan, and I
Yeah,
want Dolph
me too.
Ziggler to be in the floundering around in the Battle Royal.
No, Battle Royal.
And there's a question then, what happens with Bad News Barrett? Does he defend the title?
Battle Royal.
Oh, you make me so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know it
problem.
sucks.
They're just gonna use all these extra guys and put them in the battle royal.
It is
So
so
they're gonna have a
fucking.
length of 2 matches.
It's so fucking lazy and terrible, and I hate it.
That's your answer for everything. Where are
'Cause
we
that's
putting
what
this
they're
guy?
gonna do.
Where are we
Yep.
putting this guy?
Right.
Battle Royal. Where are we putting this guy? Battle Royal. You're
And
pregnant.
watch.
Battle Royal. It's the same time every time.
Well, that's how you get pregnant is through a Battle Royal, or so I'm led to believe.
It's also how you
Right.
get rid of pregnancy.
I'll carry the
I got
title.
it.
No,
WrestleMania.
that's a flight of steps.
Well, and we're assuming that Barrett will carry the title to WrestleMania. He may not.
Okay, so who gets it if not then?
That's
Ooh,
hard
ooh.
to say.
Give it to Ziggler and then have Ziggler Bryan feud over it. Might make it actually worth something.
That would
No.
make the title
They're gonna
relevant.
downgrade Bryan though.
Yeah. huh?
Alright, real fast. I gotta leave slightly early, so Kevin
Hi.
Sullivan for WWE Champion. Goodbye.
You're a champion. No, honestly, that doesn't downgrade Bryan. That elevates that title.
True.
That's one of those
Specifically-
situations where it would.
Specifically, if the WWE title wasn't in the picture. Like, you know how Lesnar was away for like a few months and it really elevated the IC championship, and the moment he came back and the moment Barrett won it, it pretty much has gone downhill again.
Well,
Not
they-
badly downhill, but
I don't like that's what I don't understand about the IC title. They put it on Ziggler, and oh my God, it means something. But if it's on anyone else, it doesn't mean shit.
Oh, that's because they were booking every time that someone gets one of the undercard titles, they lose on TV every goddamn week.
Mhm.
It's terrible.
So
And I
put
don't
it,
understand why.
Like
it on Ziggler and have Bryan go after it and say he wants to make the title mean something. Ziggler can turn heel, Bryan can get the IC title, and then you have Reigns versus Bryan, title versus title.
Now you've gone too far.
But then,
You've gone too far.
but then, do you have Cena beat Rusev for the US title?
Yes.
because you could retire. No, to be fair, you could retire both the US and IC title, or amalgamate them, whatever you want to do, to 2 very large stars. It will make the undisputed whatever title they want to do kind of mean something very big, symbolically.
Well, like for me, like it should, and this I honestly think that the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title, they can either be joined into one title, or if they're going to keep them separate, if you're Intercontinental means like international, really. So why not leave that for the international performers and keep the U.S. title for the American performers?
No, but because to me, international
Because
means
racism.
No, Intercontinental is inside the continent.
Racism.
That's what I said.
To me,
Racism.
To me, Intercontinental is bigger than US, so.
Then
Indeed.
it's
I
right
would
now,
agree.
it means
Sorry, I would
that-
agree with Chris. I think the IC is bigger than the US.
And if I feel that if you were to do that, then you just have the U.S. group versus the overseas group, and then you'll eventually have a battle between both of them for both titles, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The brawl for all.
Well, I have no idea why they haven't had Rusev, change that title to the Russian heavyweight title, but.
Oh my God! There was even a sample title with the Russian flag on it. I was like, that's beautiful. Why don't they actually introduce it?
Why has this not happened? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Why didn't Cesaro when he had the belt turn into the European title?
Because he doesn't have the it factor, okay? All right? No it in that man.
They had a European title at one point.
Right, but you bring it back because are you familiar with him when he was on the Indies?
Yes.
Yeah, because he was very European, Claudio Castagnoli, and to have him just turn which belt did he have, the U.S. or the Intercontinental, whichever one.
Yes.
You just have him
US.
retire that and bring out the European title. It would have been brilliant. I mean, it's an easy right.
No, you have him burn the belt, the same as JBL did.
No, that's fine too.
Heel heat for burning the flag.
I'm all for burning shit.
I know there was like some teaser or something that there was a European title with the new WWE logo, and I think there's like rumors going around that it's going to come back. It's going to come back. It's going to retire or something. I don't know. Something was going on.
Am I going to what you just said about having?
One title. So you have one main event title. You have one mid card title, and then you have the tag titles, and the low card guys can just piss off.
And then you have the bitch championship. It's
Those girls, they need more than one title.
They need 0 title.
no,
They
exactly.
need the NXT title.
They
That's
need
it.
wrestlers before they have titles.
No, they could just keep the real wrestlers, the real ladies wrestlers. They could just keep them down in NXT, where they're not going to be embarrassed.
Or I'll have a title pretty much. Who has the best hair of the night? Oh, you do. Okay.
I think you'll find that Joey Mercury wins every night.
They don't have any hair.
Oh, that guy's got one hell of a reflection. Whew.
God, I wish there was a sarcastic clap soundboard. Thank you.
Best clapping ever.
Hey, I've had 4 hours of sleep.
I will have you know, I did that clapping with one hand.
Whereas the other one was.
Oh, I got someone to snort. Who snorted?
Was it Chris?
No.
There was a snort, goddammit.
This snort will be recorded on our podcast. You are aware of this. It's online forever, whoever that was.
That was Krista, I think.
That was me.
My day is complete.
Because everybody who's ever met me knows that I snort when I laugh.
Well, that's the first time that we've heard it, so it's the first time we've been fucking funny. Oh, this is a moment.
Tonight has been a great night. We've joined new members to the family. We've made it funny. We've ruined the IWC.
We almost made Skeletor interesting.
Oh, before we go off air, I really want to make a point about this. The IWC. How did that cancel the WWE Network thing go, huh? How many of you
that
actually
wasn't-
cancelled?
I did.
Because you're an idiot.
Did you?
How many of you really cancelled for real reasons?
I didn't. It's too hard to cancel for me. I gotta call the cable company. Screw that.
Why would you cancel? I don't see the
I
point.
wouldn't cancel. I'm not actually going to cancel it over that.
No, I just mean anyone. Why would you cancel? You pay so little and you get your pay-per-view free. You get extra product.
It's just like the heat of the
NXT.
moment.
I just have to say that I'm really jealous that you guys have the network because I'm in Western Canada and we still don't have it.
Seriously?
They don't, they
Oh,
don't
jeez.
have. They just got electricity there like 2 weeks ago. So
We have roofs over our head now. Yes.
we're waiting for. We're gonna be getting running water this summer, hopefully.
Actually, don't joke because at one point in Calgary, up into the 1960s, they were still using outhouses in some houses.
We're gonna be getting indoor plumbing next year. It's gonna be great.
Seriously, that button doesn't get old.
Never does.
It gets very rough.
Oh, stop it! You're like Lance Storm today. Come on.
No, Lance Storm has more smile.
Oh.
Lance Storm, built for life.
Or if you guys were funny, you might see me smile once in a while, wouldn't you?
I said a funny.
It's off.
Oh.
It's okay, Chris.
Or
Shut
Lance. Or Lance.
I think Chris is sleepy because it's like 5-1 here.
Kind of.
So, what are we talking about tomorrow night on Showdown?
Tomorrow night on Showdown, we are finally getting around to discussing what it takes to be a real heel in the modern era.
Ooh, exciting.
So it means that we can finally tear apart the small quandaries that everyone seems to think that a heel has to be cool, or a heel has to be really bad, or sometimes you get what I call ascension heat.
Ooh.
It's not X-Pac, it's now Ascension Heat.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Just complete hatred of what you're doing in general.
Yeah.
Yay. I can't wait. So make sure everybody tunes in, because then you get to hear me talk about all kinds of old wrestlers. So.
I'm still 50-50 if I can join because Live SmackDown is on tomorrow and I am recapping it play-by-play. So what time is it going down again?
Before SmackDown.
Before SmackDown. We're always before SmackDown.
All right.
We don't want to make you lovely listeners miss shows, so we time our shows nicely, unlike
We're the-
other podcasts.
Yeah. Inconvenient people. We're the
Like-
lead in SmackDown.
We also don't have a Hall of Fame, but we don't need one.
No, we have a Hall of Pain. Hall of Pain.
Hold on, we got to give out the
Mickey
Wasim
Rourke.
Award.
Oh, yes, the Wasim Award. Dear God, where's that tweet?
Which one was it?
Oh God, there was a tweet came to us this week. In fact, there were several tweets came to us this week, but there was
I
one
re-
specific.
I remember. I remember. I don't remember who it was from though, but they said that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar feud is stale.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeebus.
Yeah. Before it even happens, it's stale.
Well, in response to that, I can put my response to what I think about that. The gentleman in question, I would have to say to him, "Thou art a cream-faced boom."
Whoa! Hey now.
My favorite one that I also received this week that may have been second in contention for the Wasim Award would be WWE_AJ Lee saying, "With Taker, it's always been about the streak." To which I replied, "Oh God, no, it hasn't." To which they replied, "It's been about the streak for 22 years. Fuck you, are you a kid? If I'm a kid, why would you fuck me?"
Oh, you
If
gotta
you're
love
going to
social
be
media nowadays.
If you're going to be stupid, at least be slightly intelligent at the same time.
Oh, was that the one that called you gay too, or called you a homo?
Oh, no, that was someone else. That was her friend.
That one was funny too.
Yeah, that was the same thing.
Yeah, because I even hopped in on that one. That one was fun.
Fuck off, you homo. Yes, I love cock. What's your point?
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
Good times. So yeah, folks, every week we will be giving out the weekly Wasim Award. So,
Now-
go ahead.
I was going to say, to be fair, the cancer comment may also be up there.
Yeah, no, that's the Scumbag of the Week award.
Just to explain this, I'm not sure if Carnage heard this. Following the Royal Rumble and the outrage on the internet, there were comments about it giving Conor the Crusher cancer.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yep.
I did not read those. No. Oh.
It's
You know
bad.
what? Those are people that really give wrestling fans a bad name.
Yeah, when you've got people saying, "Oh, it's a good thing he died, so we didn't see it." It's like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah,
That's really
heartless bastards.
poor taste.
But on a cheery note, we are back tomorrow night, and we have been the levels of wrestling. So, guys, tonight you have learned that we are expanding, we are growing, we've made members to the family. You know, it's now a big team.
And we also hated the Royal Rumble just as much as you.
Yes.
But we saw the light at the end of the tunnel, so keep watching. And don't cancel your network, because if you do, you're a FUD. And I hope you all enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow night for Showdown, and quite frankly, I hope to see every one of you. See you then.
Fist cock.